Hey, Claude Polan here. Welcome to part 2 Medicare video series. This one is about Medigap. I did a part 1, which you should take a look at, and this is a follow-up. So let's take a look now and see what some of these Medigap policies cover. So how to compare Medigap policies. So you come up to your Medicare.gov homepage, go to Supplements and Other Insurance, and just come down here to compare Medigap policies. Now, it's going to tell you in the first paragraph here that all these plans, an individual plan, A through N, is defined by the set of 10 benefits it has to offer. So all Plan A's across the country, regardless of where they're offered and by whom they're offered, have to offer the same coverage. And Plan B and C, D, F, G, K, L, M, N have to have uniform coverage. Now, the coverage is different from Plan A to Plan B to Plan C, and so are the premiums. But what you get for a Plan A, it has to be uniform. So that's the point behind, that's what they explain. Now, there are 3 states, Massachusetts, Minnesota, Wisconsin, that organize their Medigap policies differently in the sense that I used to be in Massachusetts. They regulate them, in the case of Massachusetts, more tightly. And they regulate who can offer them, that sort of thing. So now, let's take a look at this grid and figure this out, because it can be daunting. So in Medigap plans, you have an upper nav bar here that has the designation of the different plans, A through N. And then on the left-hand sidebar, you have the 10 benefits that are offered. Now, there's some information on most of them. The out-of-pocket limits, you don't get much of information at all except about plans K and L. So if we look at Plan A, let's just take Plan A and then we'll go through the others. Plan A, for example, if you look at it, will cover the co-insurance and hospital costs up to an additional 365 days after your Medicare benefits are used up. So you remember, Medicare is only 80% of the cost of health care. The other 20%, whether it be hospital or doctors, is your responsibility. So you're on the hook for 20%. Remember that. Medicare does not cover 100%. So in the case of Part A, which is hospital costs, Plan A will offer insurance that covers that co-insurance. Plan A also covers the Part B, which is doctors and services. So very often a doctor will have a co-insurance, a co-payment, or there may be a co-insurance on a lab test or something like that. This part here, Medigap Plan A, will pay for that co-insurance and those co-payments. Okay? 3 pints of blood, Plan A will pay for. Hospice care, if you need hospice care, end of life, co-insurance and co-payments, it will pay for that. Skilled nursing, convalescent care coming off of a hospital procedure, it will not pay. So, and that can be substantial. Part A deductible, we saw in Part 1, that deductible is $1,800 right now. It's going to go up to $2,100. So when you go into the hospital under Medicare, you are on the hook for the first $1,800 or $2,100 in 2014 as a deductible. If you don't want to be on the hook for that, you want to get insurance to cover it, you won't be using Plan A because it doesn't pay for that. Plan A does not cover the Part B deductible, which is a $147 deductible for Plan B, Part B. Plan A does not cover Part B excess charges. Medicare will only pay a set fee for a procedure or a fee, a doctor service, or what. It has a schedule. For all of that, it only pays a certain amount. Doctors, hospitals can charge a 15% excess fee on top of that Medicare charge, which is the responsibility of the patient to pay. And it can be 15% of $100. It can be 15% of $1,000. It can be 15% of $10,000. So depending on what that excess fee is, you may want insurance to cover that or not. Part A does not cover that. Foreign travel, you leave the country, you're not covered by under Medigap Plan A. And out of pocket, there's not enough, there's no information there. So that's Plan A. Now, what about Plan B? Well, let's take a look at Plan B through N now. Co-insurance. All of the plans offer coverage of Part A co-insurance. That's good. All of the plans offer coverage of Part B co-insurance except K and L, which only pay, in the case of K, 50% and L 75%. N pays co-insurance, but there is a $20 copay for doctor's visits and a $50 copay for emergency room under Plan N. Blood. They all pay for 3 pints of blood with plans K and L with their 50% co-insurance, 75% coverage. I mean. Hospice care. They all pay for hospice care. So that's pretty uniform, B through N. Skilled nursing is where you start seeing some difference. Part B will not pay for skilled nursing. Now remember, skilled nursing can be a lot of money. But the rest of the plans, C through N, will pay for skilled nursing. Again, K pays for 50% of it, L pays for 75% of it, so that leaves you on the hook for half or quarter, depending on which plan you would pick. Part A deductible. The Part A deductible we saw in the video, Part 1, is $1,800 per hospital stay, or $2,100 per hospital stay in 2014. So if you have more than one hospital stay, you could be on the hook for, substantial amounts of money in that deductible. If we saw that Plan A doesn't cover it. The rest of the plans, B through N, do cover it. And then K and L are 50%, 75%, M 50%. So that is what goes on in the Part A deductible. Part B deductible is $147. It may go up to $162 for 2014. The only plans that cover that deductible are Plan C, F, and that's it. So there are only 2 plans that will cover the $147 deductible. It's not a huge amount of money, so most of the other plans don't bother with it, and they figure you can pay for it. But if you want coverage, you have to look at C and F. Part B excess charges, as I explained before, Medicare only pays a certain set fee. Doctors can charge more than that set fee, but you're only liable for 15% above that charge. If you want excess fees covered, when not worrying about it, there are only 2 plans that will do that. Plan F and Plan G. Foreign travel, the only plans that offer foreign travel insurance are C, D, F, G, M, and N. Now, once you get a handle on what covers what, the trick here is to find out what it costs. Clearly, the more coverage you get, the more you have to pay. So Plan F covers everything. It is the only plan that covers everything. All 10 benefits. That is the most expensive plan to buy. The next one that covers almost everything would be G, C, D covers a lot, and N covers quite a bit. N is actually a very interesting option, but you have to look at the pricing, and that's what we're going to do next. We're going to try to see what it costs across the board for some of these plans, and that's going to be part of the next video. How do you do that? You come over here to this screen here that shows you how to compare costs. How did I find it? How to compare Medigap policies. There'll be another video. Now, this is going to be very interesting because you have to type in your zip code. This is a Florida zip code. You have to determine what your condition of health is. And let me tell you something. If I say my condition of health is very good and I got my zip code in and I want to compare plans, I'll come down here, click continue. It will show me across the board, all these plans, what my estimated cost will be. Now look at the estimated costs here. They're about $5,300 out of pocket, with your, that's a range of costs. If I go back to the screen and change it, let's say I say my health is poor, and I continue. You're going to see the pricing goes up substantially. Look at that, it's doubled. This is only to make the point that these Medigap policies are issued by private insurance companies, are subject to underwriting, which means you probably have to have a physical, and they will determine whether they'll decide whether your health is good, poor, excellent. So that's the point behind this, and then we're going to take another look at, in greater detail what this says. So that's it for this video. So it gives you an idea of what these plans offer. And the next one we'll look at some pricing. That's it. This is Claude Paulin. I hope this has been helpful. Take care.